Well, there are warnings tonight that the stunning election victory of the opposition Democratic Party of Japan could undermine negotiations towards a free trade agreement with Australia. The chief economist at Macquarie Capital Securities in Tokyo, Richard Jerram, says if the new government of the Prime Minister-elect Yukio Hatayama pushes ahead with quarantining agriculture as a precondition of any trade deal, it'll jeopardise negotiations. North Asia correspondent Mark Willesee reports.
To cheers of banzai, the Democratic Party of Japan charged to victory. In a seismic shift in Japanese politics, the centre-left opposition has broken the Conservative stranglehold on power, ending decades of virtual one-party rule.
The people are very angry with the Conservative ruling party. I thank the people who supported us. We now need to fight and work hard.
Hungry for change, the Japanese turned out in droves. 70% of eligible voters cast a ballot.
We need change to break the current situation in Japan. Just like the United States, we need change.
In Tokyo, only heavy rains from a typhoon stopped more people from making it to a polling booth. Within minutes of the polls closing, it was clear that the opposition had swept to power in a landslide. For the Prime Minister Taro Aso, the election put an end to an 11-month reign, plagued by verbal gaffes and policy paralysis.
I honestly feel it was my fate to take the responsibility for this election loss. This is my destiny, and I accept it.
Japan watchers believe the once unbeatable Liberal Democratic Party was hit by the perfect economic and political storm.
People are suffering, unemployment's at a record high, and so that was obviously a big factor. I think the other factor was that the opposition had become electable after being really quite shambolic through the 1990s when the economy was also struggling.
The son of a foreign minister and the grandson of a prime minister, Yukio Hatayama comes from a blue-blooded political family, often called the Kennedys of Japan. He's promising revolutionary change, including free high school education, a higher minimum wage and a $320 a month childcare allowance.
We must listen to the people's needs and create a government that responds to those needs. And to do that, we will not rely on bureaucrats.
Having swept the once invincible Conservatives from power, Yukio Hatayama and his Democratic Party must now implement their promised program of revolutionary change. There's little time to celebrate. They inherit a country deeply in the red. Government debt alone will soon grow to twice the size of Japan's $6 trillion economy.
So I think at some stage they are facing a real issue with the public debt and how they fund that, and it could end really quite badly for them.
For Australia, this election of the centre-left Democratic Party could have serious trade implications. Free trade talks between Australia and Japan are now in their third year. But Richard Jerram from Macquarie Securities warns it could all be back to the drawing board.
I think in terms of trade relations, it's probably going to dampen the free trade agreement because the DPJ, basically trying to appease the farming lobby, has said that they're quite prepared to exclude agriculture from any free trade agreements.
The Democratic Party has made many promises to many people, including Japan's farmers. This election certainly gives the incoming government a strong mandate to tackle the country's many problems, among them a rapidly ageing population and record unemployment. But a free trade deal with Australia may well fall down the list of priorities. Mark Willesee, Lateline.